All right, we're back.
And we're back.
We're so back. We're so back.
A back-to-back. It's going to be a back-to-back-to-back episode in the studio. Because we were here last week, right?
Yeah.
And then
this week and next week. Wow. All of our reels are going to look the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, except your sunburn is gradually going to decrease.
And the blanket's on that side this time. I put on a new hat to try to give some variation.
I changed clothes. I promise we're filming on separate days.
Yeah.
It's just... Okay, so here's the situation. See, I just don't think we can start with the hot takes because
Let's just give like a little intro and then get into it.
Okay. So the reason that we're filming all back to back is whenever one of us goes out of town, we film 2 episodes a week instead of 1 episode a week. And so this upcoming week, aka Wednesday, so literally tomorrow, by the time you're watching this tomorrow, I will be going to the UK to film. And so we have our beefed out camera rig right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a picture of it so that people can see what it looks like.
It's officially a beefcake.
We have our beefed out camera rig. It's huge. It's a chunky, and it's pretty awesome, honestly.
I like it. I mean, yeah, the monitor is
huge. It's a Atomos Assassin, so, oldie but a goodie. And
why are you running it? Because I run my monitor off my battery pack that also runs my camera. Why are you running it separate?
Mine doesn't let me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe the monitor pulls too much power.
Maybe.
Or the battery does. I don't know, but it doesn't like it. So
nice.
I just decided to pull from a separate battery. But it's working.
Yeah.
And I have a monopod I'm putting it all on. So it's
that'll make it manageable.
Very manageable. The shake will be minimal too because of how heavy that thing is.
Yeah.
And I have a strap attached to it, so it'll go strap then monopod for ultra stabilization.
Come on.
You know the vibes.
You just keep it around your neck and then press it out for just ultimate stabilization.
Yeah.
So you have the balance.
Yeah, for real. All right, now we can get into the hot takes.
All right.
Now that I vented.
Guys, we've got some of y'all's great hot takes. Some good ones this week, some bad ones this week. But nevertheless, we're going to read them to you.
We're going to read them. And you guys are going to flame us in the comments because you think there are opinions.
Fujifilm is just for people who are afraid of Lightroom.
That's not true at all. Fujifilm is for people who are on vacation, in my opinion.
I think it's just like an easy camera, but it's kind of like a nostalgia. Like it just sells you on like those colors and feelings.
I think it's for people who really just want to have fun shooting is the end of the day.
100%.
Because I would charge less money if a client knew that I was coming to the shoot with a Fujifilm like X100 with just that one lens. I would literally charge less money because I'm having to think about less and I could just enjoy the shooting process and do my thing without worrying like who cares about whatever. This also feels so different because now we can really like expound upon the takes because now we don't have to crunch it into half an hour.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But Fujifilm, like the people will comment for us in the comments and be like, oh, well, what about the like SR2 or whatever it's called? And the XT5 or whatever. And like, yeah, Fujifilm makes amazing cameras. But at the end of the day, it's for people, in my opinion, it's for people who do want to have fun shooting and like genuinely have like a simpler experience. And I think that allows you to make better art whenever your experience is more simple.
Yeah. And that brings into another I'm going to skip around, but it kind of leads into this one. Someone said, the majority of photographers and videographers secretly hate shooting for clients, but they won't admit it because they need the money.
It kind of depends.
No,
I love my clients. All the clients that I've shot for, I like.
I think what they're saying is like the majority of photographers and videographers would rather shoot just for themselves if it paid the bills, but they have to work with people.
So here's the deal. That is just not true because a majority of y'all would not make anything if no one was asking you to make stuff. Like if it wasn't your job, you wouldn't be making stuff because you're just not driven enough to do that, which I'm saying that because I know for a fact that I struggle to make stuff when there's not a hard deadline.
That is true. Like, yeah, I would say, there's a ton of projects, but also don't you think that if you had more free time, you would or no?
If I didn't have a job, I would.
Like hypothetically, that's what I'm saying. Like hypothetically, you inherit $12 million. You never have to work a day in your life again. I would still create.
Yeah, of course. But I've had the free time, and I still haven't made what I like. I've had the free time. I've been unemployed. Or I've been somewhere where I'm set up to be successful, and I still haven't made what I wanted to make.
I think, honestly, one of the things that holds me back is I'm very much like I come up with an idea that I think is really good, but I don't usually act on it until I have someone else tell me it's a really good idea.
And what do you think? What do you think that is?
I almost need like a team, or I would say like a hype man to like be like, no, you should do it, and then like that gives me the confidence to go and do it. Whereas like a lot of times, I think, and that I feel like it's a lot of people, like there's ideas that are just in our heads and we never act on until someone else is like, oh, you should like actually do that.
Yeah. For me, it's more like I'm like, oh, I don't think that's gonna work, and then I like try it, and then I realize, oh yeah, it didn't work, or oh yeah, it did work. Yeah. So I think that's kind of a nice way to do things. I don't know.
Alrighty. Creators are burning themselves out to feed platforms that will never reward them proportionally.
Do you think the podcast is sustainable?
I think very sustainable.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because like the way that we do things eliminates burnout so easily. Like even on these hard weeks where we have to film 2 days in a row, or like we're doing a bunch of Hail Marys. Like we've done 3 Hail Marys in a row where like we shoot it the night before and I go home and stay up till 1 a.m. putting the episode out.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like it's okay to do that. But that's why we do one camera. That's why we use these mics. Like that's why we use this recorder.
Did you see that girl like yelling at me in the comments?
Yes.
I was like, I literally just responded like, you just really don't get it. And
you don't understand. Like she was like, oh, you're so unprofessional for holding your mic.
And I was like, that's like the stupidest thing ever.
Especially since these are handheld mics. Yeah. The amount of people I've seen who hold the SM7B.
Oh my gosh, that's stupid.
That drives me so
That's so valid. No, I was just thinking like, she's like, oh, those are just like unprofessional mics to be using for like what you're doing. I was like, dude, we are a TikTok podcast.
These are also for speaking.
Yes. I was like, literally, like, you're proving your own ignorance by coming into our comment section. And I wanted to be like, yeah, like, I literally said, like, thank you for coming. Please come again. But you just don't get it. Like,
yeah,
you can't be roasting. And, like, the look of the podcast is something, like, early on, y'all could roast our color grade. It was bad. But respectfully, if you don't like the mics we use and just, like, the casualness of the podcast, like, suck it. Like, you don't watch the podcast.
Actually, why are you here then?
Yeah.
Because the whole point of this is that it's casual, that it's fun, and that it's a place where people can come and, like, chill out and, like, enjoy their hobby, but not have to worry about the work side of it. So much content for like professional photographers and videographers is either you're watching gear reviews and you feel like you're working and learning all the time, or you're like, I don't know, watching a movie or something, and there's no in between.
Yeah, and I feel like this podcast is a place where like we're gonna say the things that no one else wants to say about photography and like the industry and stuff. And like sometimes are we wrong? Yeah, but like there's still, I would say, valid takes that like deserve to be discussed.
The other thing that was driving me nuts, oh shoot, I kind of forgot it. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. I should have had coffee before this because I'm yawning so much. I was sitting at my desk for actually 7 hours today, editing like the entire day. I got up from my desk for 1 hour to go to a meeting, which is even worse than sitting and editing. But what was I getting at? Oh yeah, TikTok needs to chill out with how soft they are about speech. Like, what happened to freedom of speech? Like, I get that you guys are an international platform, but people should be able to use emojis and like say stuff in our comments that's not 100% kind.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the amount you probably,
they hide all the comments.
Yeah, they hide all the comments or they fold them up, and I have to go in and accept all of them. Like, I don't want to have to remember to do that, or like I'm missing half of y'all's comments because like y'all are doing actually valid y'all are saying actually valid things, and then TikTok is going and hiding them, and I have to go unhide them. And it's not even like maybe they'll use a swear word and that's why it blocks it, or maybe, but sometimes it's just like I saw one today and it hit it because they used the throw up emoji.
Bruh,
like what are we doing? What happened to like a world of where people can speak freely?
Yeah.
And, like, it's not even hate speech that they're saying. They're literally just being like, I disagree.
Yeah. I will say, but we kind of totally got off topic, which is fine.
That's
but, like,
okay.
Do you think, like, creators are not rewarded proportionally to the platforms that they're on?
I think it takes ages. Because look at us. Look at us. I thought about this the other day. So some people would look at us and say, okay, you guys have put out 40 episodes. You should be higher up than you actually are.
Yeah.
But then look at like the old way that things used to be back with long form content, where it's like, okay, maybe that's not the case, because like some people like Unbox Therapy and like What's Inside, they had been around for ages before they got big.
I mean, and this is just my personal experience on social media from with this podcast channel we built up, and then my personal page. And what I've seen is like, honestly, it's like the more you post, the more it's like you're bargaining with the platforms to give you more of a floor for your reach.
Right.
So it's like,
That's so facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
so it's like now we've kind of gotten to the point where like all of our reels are minimum are gonna get at least 1,000. That used to be like minimum 100, minimum 200, and then like slowly.
Now, honestly, it's like 3,000 minimum.
Yeah, but I would say like minimum 1,000.
Yeah.
And then
true.
like, and I even on my personal platform, that's what I found is like literally my minimum reach. I could post the worst thing ever. It's at least gonna get 8,000 views. And I feel
That's
like
true.
the more you do it, you're just buying that floor,
That's
and then you're looking for the ceiling.
That's a really good point. So like the reason that you want to be consistent is because now like the minimum amount of likes we get is like about 50 to 100 likes per post, which it used to be, okay, great, we get 1 to 2 or 6 likes or something. And so I feel like all these people out here complaining, we talked about this in the past, the people complaining like, oh, like TikTok's blocking me, shadow banning me, they're not letting me become an influencer. Like, no, you're probably just not giving them enough buying power to like build that floor up. I'm sorry that I'm yawning so much this episode. I literally, like, I guess it's the amount of oxygen going to my brain, but there's clearly not enough. The amount of words coming out of my mouth is not being filled in by the air that I'm breathing.
All right. Well, the podcast has finally come full circle, I guess, because Sigma lenses make sharper images than most OEM lenses, and yet some photographers still treat them like a compromise.
Okay, I can't cap. I shot on a Sigma lens today, and literally, I was worried that it was on an A7 IV with a Sigma 24 to 72.8 art lens. I was literally like, bro, is the screen broken? Like, is it this out of focus? Because it looked actually horrible on the back of the camera.
No way.
I don't know if the Sony like LCD screen is that bad or if the Sigma was that bad. But dude, I've never had a worse shooting experience than today. The lady was literally like getting uncomfortable with how many like portrait shots I was taking of her, because I had to do like a headshot of her basically. And it was like a work thing, so I just popped on the Sony and like got it ready, because like my camera's been rigged out like this for 2 days, and obviously it's kind of weird to be like, okay, let me take your staff photo like, with this.
That is so valid, because I had my camera rigged up for video, but I wanted to use it for video and photo, but I didn't want to always break it down every time. It's kind of a hassle.
Yeah.
And so you just find yourself with like your side handle just taking a photo. Like, oh my goodness.
Do you want to hear something really weird?
Huh.
So I have to get a second camera again for weddings. I've decided I'm not going with the R5C.
Just another R6.
I think I'm gonna get an R6 Mark II.
I would do that.
So
that's literally what I use. I use an Mark II and then an R6.
I've heard so many good things about it, and honestly, this brings up another point. This can be a reel. Should you buy cameras? So like, you know, the thing that's like dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Should you buy the camera for the jobs you want or the job you have?
I mean, for the job you have, but like, if you bet on yourself, go for it. I don't know, because what's his face? Christian would say,
okay, but
the
that's
opposite.
super bold. That's super bold though, because it's like, in my world, a camera is a tool. So like, why would I want a tool for a job that I don't have versus a tool for a job that I do need it for?
That's true. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's also like an R5C could serve the same purpose.
It could, but it wouldn't
And
be
then
as
do
good.
more.
The autofocus isn't as fast. It doesn't have IBIS, which arguably I need for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I figured just R6 Mark II solves the record limit problem for the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it can still do 6K ProRes RAW with an external recorder, so I'm only losing from 6K to 8K. And honestly, how often am I going to be wanting to shoot 8K?
It's not that often.
Never.
Yeah.
Literally never. The only reason that I'd be shooting 8K is because I want the internal RAW that comes with that 8K codec. If they made a 4K RAW on a Canon camera, I would literally buy that camera today, bro.
That's so facts. Okay. Canon's color science is largely I need to figure out a better way to say this. I don't like how they said it, but they're saying Canon's color science is mostly nostalgic at this point, and it's not much better than all of the others.
Honestly, I kind of agree.
I mean, I don't think it's like significantly better, but I do think it is like the vibes and like you're like, oh yeah, it's Canon.
I agree. But I do think there's some level of nostalgia to it that makes it what it is. Like Sony, like the reason that we say it's like for technicians and like broadcast and live video is because it doesn't have that nostalgia factor. And honestly, maybe that is where Canon comes into play for us, is like we like the like artsy vibes of the Canon.
I mean, do you like, like every now and then on your reels, you'll see like, remember when it's like 2015 and like Tom Brady's winning the Super Bowl, it's like clips from all 2015. Do you think like we're going to get to like 2040 or like remember when? And it's just like orange and teal filters just defines this generation.
I sure hope not.
Like, I know it's going to be like, if there was like a camera like rewind it to this, if we were defining like this generation of like, actually, what would be the standout camera? Probably the Sony A series cameras.
A7 III.
Yeah.
The A7 III is 100% the standout camera.
Yeah.
Well, so you could argue the FX3 or the FX30, but
not as many people have it, though.
Think about how many people have that dang A7 III.
Yeah.
Like, some people's moms have that camera.
That
Straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. You don't need full frame for professional work, but the industry keeps selling insecurity because bigger sensors means bigger jobs and bigger profit margins.
No. No one knows what size your sensor is.
Yeah.
Your clients don't know what size your sensor is. But the look that comes with full frame is just better. Objectively better.
I agree. And like, the industry, like a bigger sensor does not mean bigger profit margins, but a bigger sensor.
It's not true at all. Otherwise, everyone would shoot with the Alexa 265. And now they shoot with the Alexa 35, which is literally a smaller sensor. If people wanted a bigger sensor, they'd shoot with the freaking Ursa 17K or whatever with the large format sensor or the Alexa 265 or the Alexa LF. No, they all shoot with the Alexa 35, the Alexa Mini or whatever. Like, no one cares about sensor size. They care about the look that comes out of the sensor, and Alexa Ari gets away with that because their sensor is so good, because all of their freaking light things, all their light suckers and their sensor are I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Are so good that they get away with the 35 millimeter format, the Super 35 or whatever it is. But like full frame, dude, full frame just objectively looks better. So you can't they're like everyone arguing for Micro Four Thirds, APS-C, whatever. It literally it objectively looks better. So if you have the money, why would you not buy full frame? Straight up.
I agree. Like, there's a time and place for a smaller sensor, and that literally is.
Oh, there is 100%.
If I'm traveling and I don't want to deal with a full frame camera,
100%. Or if you're squeezing a million, billion, jillion cameras into tiny spaces.
Yeah.
Like, no duh, you would want a Micro Four Thirds camera for that. Especially like, say you're shooting like a science documentary, and you need cameras like security angles and like different angles of, like, say you're shooting a prison TV show and you don't want cameras bouncing off the walls because they're so big. Like, yeah, you're going to want a Micro Four Thirds system with tiny, tiny lenses.
Yeah.
That's obvious. And you're going to have that space well lit. So who cares anyways? But the end of the day, in the wild, in the nature of the world, full frame is objectively better. And there's no... scientifically full frame is better.
100%.
There's no way, there's no argument around it. Now, if you're like, oh, well, my rig is tiny, so it's better, great. Yeah, your rig's tiny. Dude, you think I care about how small my rig is? Wind back to the beginning of the podcast and look at how big this rig is right now. I'm going to be carrying this around for 12 days. So,
yeah,
I'm going to be crying, but my back will be hurting forever.
Okay. TikTok and Instagram have trained creators to care more about algorithmic trends than personal style or vision, and it shows.
100%. When we had Reagan on this podcast, and he was talking about how the thing that defines him is that he uses music he likes and not trending sounds,
yes,
that made me sad.
No, I honestly, I'm sad because I feel like as our generation of photographers and videographers, like, we're missing out so much on original content. But like, there's just like certain stylized video where it's like that film look, some grain on it, mute some colors, and like people call that original content, but no, that's a trend. And it's like everyone does it, and then like makes them be like, they act like it makes them stand out, but it's honestly making you blend in at this point.
Yeah, like people take their FX3 to the carnival Overdone. Overdone.
So overdone. Honestly, people that are flying their FPV drones through fireworks now, I thought I was so original 2 years ago.
2 years ago is crazy.
Yeah. 4th of July this year, there was like 10 drones going through the fireworks. And I was like, when did this get popular? And I'm kind of mad about it. Like,
I hope all those people got their cameras blown up because that would be hilarious.
I was more nervous about hitting other drones than like hitting a firework.
You did it?
Yeah, I do all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Like 4th of July, and then what's the other day? There's one other day of the year. I always forget what it is when we have fireworks, and I look forward to those.
Memorial
every time.
Day? 3rd of July?
Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember like there's 2 days a year.
Labor Day?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll stop asking.
You know what would go hard though? Chinese New Year in China with that FPV drone.
That would be lit.
Like into the mouth of the dragon.
No, Insta360. Have you seen the Insta360
Attach the
bow and
drones?
arrow?
No.
No. So you need to look this up, guys. If you don't follow Corridor Crew on YouTube and you're watching this podcast, one, you're looking in the wrong place for entertaining content. This is not the place.
We're definitely the standard for that content now.
But Corridor Crew, go and look up Insta360 attached to an arrow. And they literally take an Insta360, put it on a bow and arrow, launch it into the sky. It's so sick. But if you did that with a bow and arrow with fireworks,
Go crazy.
shoot it straight into the sky with the fireworks, camera explodes on impact when it hits the ground. SD card is probably safe.
Come on.
That's all you need.
Dude,
Waste a
that's what
$500
sucks.
camera.
When you
But
crash FPV drone in the water and you lose the footage too, and it's like
double
least
whammy.
if you get footage out of it, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of worth it. 'Cause honestly, it goes pretty viral on the internet if you can post a drone footage crashing. But
100%.
when you lose all of it, it's
You
just
would
like,
know.
Yeah. did really good. But okay. Most workflow optimization gear is just procrastination disguised as productivity.
Okay. What do you think? Do you agree or no?
I need to ask, like, what do they define as workflow optimization gear?
So I don't know. I think what they mean by that is people saying, "Oh, well, I need to buy that so that I can be better." Like those editors right now who are editing with an Xbox controller. People could easily look at that right now and be like, "Oh, well, I don't have an Xbox controller."
Fun.
It is. You should do it. You can do it with Lightroom.
Okay.
But people could easily look at that and be like, "Oh, well, I don't have an Xbox controller. I don't have one of those like wheel things. I forget what they're called, but like it's a bunch of wheels and you can edit with it and be faster." Like people could look at that and be like, "Well, I don't have that, so I can't be as good."
I used to think I needed like one of those wheel things.
No, dude. No. You don't need anything.
You need a trackpad. I can vouch for that.
Okay, trackpad and mouse is the most goated combination in Premiere of all time, dude. When you got the trackpad on this hand and the mouse on this hand, dude, I am flying through that timeline. It is unmatched.
Goated. Yeah, so I don't know.
Trackpad's elite. At the end of the day, get a laptop.
Yeah. Comment again next week and define yourself. Okay.
Comment again so we can define you.
The RAW versus JPEG debates are increasingly irrelevant when most people's work ends up crushed on social media anyway. No, that's stupid. You still couldn't edit as much. Yeah, it's going to end up as a JPEG, sure, but you can't edit it nearly as much beforehand. Like that's
Dude, the fact that people shoot in JPEG, the only reason you should be shooting in JPEG is for instant
the turnaround
delivery.
time has to be instant.
Literally like under 2 minute turnaround time.
Like Garrett Wilson just caught a touchdown in the end zone and it has to be up on social media right now. Like
no. It had to be up on Instagram as it happened.
As he caught the football.
As the football touched his hand, it needs to be posted. That's the only time it's acceptable to be shooting in JPEG. Every other time, well, that's not true. If you're baking your stuff with the Fuji camera,
yeah,
kind of crap.
Obviously there's exceptions. But I would say the other time is like if you're like me and you forget an SD card and you have a limited amount of space and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I have to shoot JPEG now because I would literally get 80 more photos or I can get 200."
That's fair.
But
that's fair. All right. Well, I think we're going to take our break now. We can come back and hit some more topics.
Come on.
Okay, we're back.
And we're back.
Luke doesn't eat vegetables.
Nope, I skipped them all today.
He doesn't eat salad. He's disgusting.
My feet can't be seen on camera right now, right?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay.
Get to it.
Oh, you're gonna hate this.
It's so bright here.
This one's gonna make you red in the face, bud.
Ready. I'm ready.
You don't need a camera cage for your mirrorless body unless you're shooting an action sequence or need to look serious in front of clients.
Not true at all. After having a cage, bro, I love this thing.
It's so nice. I will say, why did I buy one? To look good in front of clients.
That's not why I bought one. I bought one so I could add a battery and a side handle and
yeah,
a mic.
I discovered those were nice things after I impressed my clients.
Ain't no way. I bought it so that I can do stuff like this to my camera.
That was literally all I did. Like when I had my T7i, I bought a battery grip, not for extended battery life, but to impress my clients with a bigger camera.
You're such a nerd. You're
Like,
such a nerd.
that was the entire thought process.
This does not impress clients though, because now everyone knows that I'm running my camera off a power pack.
No, but like, I mean, like other photographers do. I don't think clients really care.
No, people notice.
Like,
they're like, "Oh, is that a portable battery?"
It's
I'm
kind of
like,
smart though. Like
it is genius.
It would just make me like,
It
this
saves
guy's
so much-
ingenuity and saving money.
saves so much
He's probably
money.
gonna save me money on my project. I should hire him. You know.
More people need to think like that.
Alrighty. Okay. The pressure to constantly upgrade cameras actually shuts many
Yes.
So let me rephrase this for the reals. The pressure to constantly upgrade cameras actually stunts many creators. Oh my gosh, why can I not say this? The pressure to constantly upgrade cameras actually stunts many creators creatively. They never master what they already own.
I think that's facts. Because, like, I didn't realize that I could get more cracked at the R6.
Yeah.
And so now I'm excited that I'm not actually upgrading. I'm just getting an R6 Mark II because now I can continue to grow in my R6 hood. What are you looking for?
My drink.
Your water? Bro's coughing up a lung over here.
Actually, this episode is sponsored by...
No, I wish!
Not yet.
Canada Dry, please! Please!
I already have a plan. Once we get to like at least 5,000 on on Instagram and TikTok, we're gonna put this in like a product studio, which is gonna be one of our studios, and we're gonna film like just a ridiculous ad,
Yeah.
and then tag them in it, and then they'll sponsor us.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Anyways, we're talking about camera cage. No, the pressure to constantly upgrade cameras. Yeah, I mean, so I started on SL3, and then I like went sideways to the T7i. Like I didn't go up or down. I would say those are pretty like on the same.
They
level.
are the same, yeah.
But I don't know. And then my next upgrade was an R6, which definitely was an upgrade. But honestly, I would say I probably didn't master either of those cameras as well as I could have. I mean, I do think I definitely milked them, and I was to the point where I needed something for video reasons.
Video was the only reason I
Yeah.
had to switch cameras. I would have been able to shoot on the SL2 forever if I didn't have.
Yeah, if I wanted to just be doing photos, I mean, it's crop sensor, so it's like full frame at some point. It was beneficial because all my lenses were like, my 50 was actually like a 70 something.
Yeah, that's true.
So in that sense, but honestly, like I was shooting banger photos, and for concert photography, when I'm kind of far away, having that extra crop in was kind of nice.
It is nice, yeah.
When I didn't have the lens, I didn't have a 70-200, so I couldn't reach there yet. But yeah, okay. I'm like reading these like before I actually like I'm not reading them before I say them, so I'm like, oh, well, here we go.
Yeah.
Sony cameras are great tools, but have managed to make photography feel more like operating a spreadsheet than creating art.
See, that's what I was saying about how they're like technician cameras.
Yeah. And you know what sucks? If you ever take a corporate creative job, and I mean, this might not be true for you, but for me, it's like they make art into spreadsheets and numbers and like,
yes.
And honestly, like there is some coolness to that. Like, I do enjoy that a little bit, but sometimes I'm like, dang, dude, like it's all about efficiency and speed. I'm like, dude, this is like not fun.
Well, so here's the issue: is people are like blaming you're making it into efficiency and speed, to excuse the fact that they're not turning in a lot of product.
See, and honestly, can we schedule Brian Bailey? Because I would be so curious just to ask him, like, when you are creating gift for Christmas, how important to you is like efficiency and like obviously like budget's important, but like versus like creating the best show or like just of fun things in the show, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is it worth it to you for this to have extra steps for what it does for the audience? And in the same way, like, that's a live production, so it's a little bit different from like a video perspective. But it's like sometimes I want to be willing to like do something that takes a little bit longer because of the effect it would have on the viewer. Like
the new Kodak Super 8 film camera shoots auto settings for film, which is super helpful because if you never shoot Super 8 like me, you may not know how to properly expose it perfectly your first time. And it's only a $400 camera, but then about 13 minutes of film to get it shot, developed, scanned is about $100 per like that roll. And so you're spending, like, say you want to shoot for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, you're spending about $200 on film. And not worth it at all when you look at digital cameras, but then it's like cool, you get to shoot Super 8 and it has a feeling that no other camera can replicate. Like that people can argue that you can overlay it, you can film emulate it, whatever. No, you truly cannot. Like, there's something about Super 8 that's just special and you can't replicate it.
Yeah. Okay. Most of the top YouTube creators don't follow their own gear advice because their revenue comes from affiliate links, not actual production.
I always wonder about this, and I always wonder about how we're going to go about this, because eventually there will come to a point where people are sending us stuff and we don't like it. And we'll have to be like, no, we don't like this.
We kind of have, though. Remember that guy that sent us like his paper rip facts? Some guy DM'd us and was like, "Hey guys, I have a great product for you," and it was like these like paper rip transition packs, and I'm not gonna lie, they were actual dog water. And like I was thought about it, and I was like, "No, like we just don't need to do that."
No.
And then we got people that are coming that I'm really sorry, actually we haven't put yours in the video yet. I totally forgot about that. That's just
I have mine here. You want to go grab it?
Let's pull it out.
Let's do the segment. You keep them going right now.
So yeah, I'll stall for a second, but yeah, I think with creators and YouTubers, I thought about this the other day because Peter McKinnon created this video. They like pushed the Insta360 X4 so hard, and usually I don't really get sold on stuff, but like he sold me. Like, this is the first time Peter McKinnon has ever like gassed me up to go buy something, and I was like, you know what? I could use an Insta360 X4. I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to use it to record myself shooting my concerts that I shoot. And I was like, I'm going to create Reels content. It's going to be great. Less than like 2 months later, they dropped the Insta360 X5. So, I mean, I don't know this to be like such a fact, but like I can read between the lines that they definitely made Peter McKinnon make a video for the X4 to sell out all of the old X4s and then drop the X5. Like, I was so mad.
That's tough.
I'm sure that's what happened.
Here it is.
Okay, so this is a product actually that I actually am excited about, and he reached out to us, and we were like, "No way, we've already seen ads for your stuff." Like, yeah, like we would love to actually put you. I don't know if we have an affiliate link yet.
We do not.
So we won't be linking in the description. We'll link his thing in the description, but hopefully, honestly, yeah, we'll link him in the description. I was gonna say wait a week until we get an affiliate link, but no,
ain't no way. That's so messed up.
Just go give him business. So this is the Dispo lens. Really. So what's cool about this is it goes on. This is for it fits on R6s.
Yeah. Well, they make EF and RF.
Yeah.
And
like some Nikon E.
Yeah.
Mount, maybe?
Z mount.
Yeah. But it gives you like that cool like digital.
No film.
I thought it was like digital.
Disposable. Oh, disposable. That's film.
Disposable, not digital. Like look, and it also there's like 5-ish modes.
Yeah.
So yeah, some really great options. I don't know if we have any. We'll throw up a link in the description to his stuff. I have taken some pictures. I'll have to find them. And it's
I've done some video.
So I don't know
it's
if I can
pretty sick. Yeah.
So if you can put it in, if not, like I said, this is a quick turnaround. I'm sure we'll talk about him and do more stuff with him in the future. But that is a product that I would say yes. If we had an affiliate link, I would totally do that. It's a great product.
I've used this several times, and it has the mode on it where it does the 3 like what's it called? It takes 3 pictures and then you can like shuffle between them and it looks like it's moving.
That's
like
what's nice.
3D effect. And then it has like the regular mode, which like turns it into basically like a disposable like pinhole camera, which is super sick. And yeah, I mean it's a dope camera, or a dope lens. Like it's also made of plastic, so I don't feel as bad about like beating it up.
Yeah,
like it was literally just sitting in the bottom of my bag. Like a lens cap would.
And if you scratch that, it would be so hard to scratch. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah,
at all.
the interior lenses, like there's no way you're even getting something in there to scratch it. So it's kind of too chill.
But yeah, great product. Super excited to be with them.
Baller Dispo lens. Yeah, check them out.
We have another Leica one, and I'm not going to lie. I'm Leica hated out because I kind of love Leica, so I'm skipping it.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'll read it, but like I probably won't cut it for a reel. But it says, Leica's main product isn't cameras. It's social signaling to insecure rich people who want to feel like artists.
I don't like that. Move on. We're skipping that question.
That's what I'm saying. I
hate it.
That's
stupid. That's the worst comment ever.
Stupidest thing ever. Buying more lights doesn't improve your lighting if you still don't understand how to shape shadows.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Because as much power as you want, if you don't understand how to use negative fill to like add a shadow to the side of your face.
That's true. Honestly, if you can't use a 60-watt, like one 60-watt light to make something like look good, you probably don't understand lighting. Like a 3-point lighting is important, but like you should still be able to create with what you have.
Yeah. I will say, like, obviously light power is super important, but at the end of the day, like you'll hit your limit on light power. Like it doesn't matter at a certain point. Once you're like at your native ISO, once you're at the f-stop you want, once you're at the shutter speed you want, then it's like, how are you going to craft your light? How are you going to modify your light? Like, do you have any go-betweens going on? Do you have any negative fill going on? Do you have any bounces going on? So like we bounce all of our light, and that's why it looks like soft and it has a nice roll off to the back of the room. Like we're lit better than the back of the room on purpose because we want a nice roll off. And then when I shoot interviews, I bounce it on a corner and I put a negative fill kind of right here, so it kind of like smooths across the face nicely, so that you're not getting like the nose shadow here, but you put the light kind of like here, so that, and then a negative fill here, so that it creates the shadow but without the shadow of the nose, which is super important. But yeah, look up, I forget what it's called, but the thing where there's a triangle under your eye, look that up, because that's like an interesting take on lighting that I don't even know if I agree with, but it's kind of weird.
Okay. AI was the final straw to move social content from quality to quantity.
That's so facts. The amount of ads I get for people who are like, I stopped editing my videos and now they go viral. And I'm like, shut up.
If I see one more of those ads, I'm going to like actually punch someone.
It makes me so mad. I think I blocked several of the marketing accounts because I was just so tired of people being like, I took my videos from this to this, and now they're getting thousands of views.
If anyone tells you they can make your videos go viral, they're lying and run so far away from them. Like, do not give them your money. They are literally profiting off of selling you a lie. And it's like,
it's true.
And I can vouch for that because like honestly, like I would say like, can you make anything go viral? And the answer is like yes with an asterisk, because it's like obviously if you keep posting, something's going to work.
Yeah,
but it's
eventually
also like
you'll hit.
The people you're working with have to kind of
They have to have the it factor. Yeah.
And if they don't have it, sorry, you can just, it's not going to work.
I was meeting with a business the other day, and I kept coming back to the topic of like, okay, but who's going to be the face of your company?
That's
like,
the thing.
who's going to be the face of your company? Because they wanted to have this whole social strategy, which was awesome. They were ready to put money behind it, which was awesome. They were fully going to let me run through like all the technical stuff. Like they were going to let me light their studios however I needed to. They were going to let me roll things in and out whenever I needed to. They were ready to get whatever camera we needed. They were ready to have the guidelines for their brand, the dress code, what camera we shoot on. We only shoot on these lenses. We don't post iPhone stuff. They were ready. But then I had to keep coming back to, okay, who's the face of your brand? And how is your marketing company going to like implement this? Because you can't just, if you have some marketing company overheading you on all your content creation, then it's not going to work. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and like that's the thing that I've realized is the hardest part with all of like the different companies / brands that I work with is like you have to get them to buy into the vision, because if they don't, you could be making the best content possible, and like if there's not that light behind their eyes, it's not gonna work.
They're not excited. If your client's not excited about it, then the customer's not going to be excited about it that the client is marketing to, and then you just have a depressing product because you've put up thousands of dollars into an ad piece and then it goes nowhere, and then your company's like, what did you do wrong? And you're like, actually, you just don't have passion behind what you do. And so people saw that through the camera, because unfortunately when you get a bigger and bigger sensor, when you go full frame, they can really see if there's no light behind your eyes.
Yeah.
They can tell if you're using a teleprompter.
That's the thing is like, yeah, so I have a couple people that I work with, they like love using teleprompters, and
oh my gosh.
And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like there's time and place, but it's also like if you can get it in one take with no teleprompter, it's always going to be better. Yeah. Just because of the natural. And like today I literally had an example where I was filming, we did it on teleprompter, and then I recorded it, and he didn't know I was recording, and I had him do it again, just like talking to me, and we were going to use the one that he doesn't even realize. It's just like the natural one,
right?
Because it looks so much better.
There you go. That's a new hack. I'm definitely using that.
Okay. Most camera gear reviews are so sanitized. No, most camera gear reviews are sanitized because they're basically afraid. Oh my gosh, most camera gear reviews are sanitized because they're afraid to alienate the brands that they're working with.
That's true.
I think it's true, which I think I'm excited.
I was scared about hating on Sony and Nikon so much.
Yeah, now I say whatever I want. No, but seriously, like, I want eventually when we start doing more videos here that isn't just podcasts to do gear reviews of stuff that's not sponsored. Just like I see something like, oh, cool. Like
the thing that I want to do the most is live stuff. I want to do live streams so bad.
That would be fun.
I love like live podcasts. I think they're so entertaining.
I might have a wedding, and if I do, I'll live stream the entire edit. Red Bulls.
I'm working on stuff like that where it's like, okay, like plug my GoPro in, set it up, and then live stream like my whole editing process. Unfortunately, honestly, right now, I think it would be a whole conflict of interest thing with my company.
This would be the first wedding that I did where like I could, in theory, like actually a wedding I did, I hired someone just to do social content for my brand.
Really?
I hired Jake to do it. Just shooting clips of me, which has never seen light of day. I literally hired him just to take photos of me filming the wedding and like videos of me filming the wedding that I could use for like reels and stuff. And then I quit social media.
Tough.
But I might hire him again just to come out to this wedding.
Why wouldn't you hire me?
So I don't think you can take it because I got referred to by you. So I'm assuming.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it?
I think so. You'll probably know who it is.
Yeah, I do.
I
was about to say the date of the wedding. Is it like August 15th?
Just like completely doxes the wedding.
Well, it doesn't matter. Is it August 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You aren't gonna know where the wedding is, but yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see, and maybe I'll go out live on TikTok for that.
I'm glad you took that wedding.
I'm talking to Skylar, but we probably will.
You should definitely do it. They're good people. I sat on a bus next to him for probably 13 hours there, 13 hours back. So
come on. Okay, last one. People talk about storytelling constantly because 90% of creators don't actually tell stories. They just shoot pretty sequences with royalty-free music.
I just did that for the longest time until literally this video that I'm making well, okay, there's been a progression. Up until last year, I shot pretty sequences with royalty-free music. That's all I did in life. Now, I've implemented storytelling via audio and B-roll and A-roll. Now it's completely changed the game. Someone said to me, they were like, oh my gosh, when I saw that recap that you made last year of this trip, it was the best recap video I've ever seen, and like I love that video, and like it's my favorite video that I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, great, now I have a challenge to make this video better than that video, and I know exactly how I'm gonna do it, and it's through the pre-work of the story. So like I'm shooting a bunch of stuff before the trip even happens to like work the story and like pre-work it so that there's a story already going, and I can just pick up the story at the event and continue it on in the edit. And that is working so well. The most important part of shooting for storytelling is audio. Like if I have someone run around with my mic, so I get this mic, the Rode NTG video mic, plug it into the Rode Wireless Pro transmitter, then I have someone run around with it and just get me audio bits. Get me like what's going on in the room, like who's talking. I record every single time someone's speaking into a mic and it's going into the soundboard. I have them pull the audio from the soundboard every single time. Yeah. Then I go through it and take all the quotes out. And that is how I'm making all my videos. That's now. Good. Life-changing. Because you brought it up. Like you were like, I love how you edit to the words of your video and not like the music of the video. And that is how I do it. Is because I'm pulling quotes, and then I'm interviewing and pulling quotes from there, and that's how it works. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, what's been crazy is recently I've been not shooting on a camera. I mean, I guess if you consider an iPhone a camera, but iPhone 16 Pro Plus, whatever it is, and
Pro Max. Yeah, Pro Max Plus, Alpha, Sigma.
Yeah, I mean, and so I've literally like, I probably edited more in CapCut than Premiere in the past month.
That's wild.
Which is crazy.
I would cry.
And it's like, it was definitely humbling at first because I was like, this like sucks. But honestly, like I've kind of started to see some of the value. And I say it's kind of because like it's never going to replace Premiere. But like for those like fast, like turnaround, quickie social media stuff, it is kind of goated.
Yeah.
Like I realized like, dang, I really don't need to be getting in Premiere. It's taking like 15 minutes. So I could literally do it in 3.
My issue was I would always do that. I'd always go to iMovie for quick edits, but then someone would ask for a revision. And then I'd be like, why didn't I just do this in Premiere?
That's
in the
what
first
sucks.
place?
Yeah, if you know someone's gonna do it, because like then someone asked me to change something in CapCut, and I was like, haha, no.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
literally
too
can't
late.
cut this right here.
Yeah,
So.
I'm sorry. It stinks, but
Yeah, and like it's the exporting so fast, it's all right there. But
yeah,
that's been great.
pretty nice.
If you're on an Apple system, if not, then I said the AirDrop helps so much.
Oh, AirDrop is needed. 100%.
I don't know if you're on I do know because I have a Windows and I'm switching all of it over to Mac right now because literally for AirDrop, like Windows and the screenshot capabilities. I tried to screenshot something on Windows, doesn't some codes in some weird file type, and I can't send it to anybody. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm switching to Mac.
It's so annoying.
But yeah,
Anyways, do you have any more topics?
that's it.
I'm pretty good. I feel good. I'm ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're filming again, so I want to go home and get to bed because it's going to be another long day, another 7-hour day of sitting in front of Premiere just chopping clips. So I'm pretty tired. I think I'm going to head out.
All right, peace.
It's been real. Thanks for watching. Bye.